Welcome to our video by me, my friends Nabila Lexa Fitri and Angeline Magdalena. As a part of follow-up from the Less Opinion article, this time we will invite you to understand one of the key tools that are used in business performance measurement, the Balance Scorecard, which has an emphasis on analysis from financial perspective. Dear friend, you all know that Balance Scorecard does not only evaluate the financial aspect, but also observe whether or not be the overall strategy to fulfill the vision of company. Alright, let us step back and quickly explain to you guys what a balanced scorecard is. The balanced scorecard is a strategy management method that helps organization translate their vision and strategy into the tangible action. This is not just about numbers, but encompasses a full strategy layer: financial, customer, internal business process, and growth and learning. On this occasion, we will discuss extensively about the financial perspective. See the video until the end, okay? Okay, guys, the material about balance scorecard will be explained by my friend Angeline Magdalena. Okay, Angeline, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, the moderator. So, balance scorecard is a strategic management tools that help organization balance short-term or long-term performance by measuring performance from various perspective, not just financial aspect. With balance scorecard, organization can monitor performance, ensure that long-term strategies can be implemented into operational action, and identify areas that need improvement. In balanced scorecard, there are four perspective, namely financial perspective, customer perspective, internal process perspective, and learning and growth perspective. Let's discuss one by one from the four perspective. The first is the financial perspective. This is financial perspective measure how the company strategies impacts financial performance, which ultimately show the end result of all efforts that have been made. There are several commonly used indicators including first, revenue to measure total income from products or service sales. Net profit to calculate profit after all expense. 3, return of investment to show the return or on investment made by company. Profit margin to assess how efficiently the company generates profit from its share. The main objective in financial perspective is to increase shareholders' value and demonstrate that the organization strategies has a positive impact on financial performance. The second is customer perspective. This perspective focuses on customer satisfaction, loyalty, and perception of the company. By ensuring that customers are satisfied, the company can retain and increase the number of customers, which ultimately drives revenue. Indicators that are often used are: first, customer satisfaction, measure how satisfied customers are with a product or service. Second, customer retention, assess the company ability to retain its customer. Market share, measure the percentage of market control by the company. Customer feedback, analyze customer response to product or service. This customer perspective aim to help companies identify what is important to customer and how to improve a service or products to improve the customer experience. The third is the internal process perspective. In this perspective, the focus is on business process that must be managed well so that the organization can provide value to customer and shareholders. The goal is to improve operational efficiency and effectiveness. Example of indicators include process efficiency, measure the speed and cost of operational process, product quality, assess the quality of the product produced, and for example, by looking at the level of defects. Product innovation measure the company ability to develop new products or service. Process cycle time measure the time required to complete a full process. By focusing on internal process, companies can identify bottleneck, reduce costs, and ensure process run efficiently to provide the best service to customer. The last is the learning and growth perspective. This first covers three main aspects: human resources, technology, and organizational culture that supports innovation and continuous improvement. This perspective allows companies to continue to grow and adapt to market change. The indicator include employee training and development, measure how well the company supports employee capability development, employee satisfaction and engagement, assess the level of employee happiness and loyalty, technology innovation, measure the adoption of new technologies to increase productivity, organizational adaptability, measure how quickly the organization adapts to environmental change. Those were the four perspectives in balanced scorecard. However, this time we will discuss the financial perspective in more depth. Okay, guys, today our group will explain financial perspective. For the company, we use the fixation company, and the financial tables are made by our group. For the calculation, we ask the calculation of profit margin, net profit margin, ROA, ROE, and also DER. Okay, that's all for me. I will give back to the moderator.
Okay, guys, that's all the explanation about the balanced scorecard material. Then we enter into the discussion of the case study that will be discussed by my friend Nabila Alexa. I hope all of you will watch this video so that you can understand the study case discussed by Alexa. Okay, Alexa, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the time, moderator. Here I will explain about study case for the material. Okay, guys, to understanding more deeply relate to the analysis of financial statement, it's not complete if we don't practice directly. So let's solve one problem together. Here there is already picture of a company financial table. Can be noticed yes friend, then what it as is over the past 3 years. This manufacturing company has seen a decline in profit margin. In terms of analysis, the company has a high level of debt as its debt to equity ratio has increased. Hence, the interest cost has increased as well. Hence, the company can be recommended for the restructuring or bank operation to reduce operating costs. Previously, in this case study, it was explained that the company experienced a decrease in profitability, asset efficiency, and an increase in debt ratio. Therefore, we need to calculate various financial ratios such as gross profit margin to measure the company efficiency in generating profit from sales, net profit margin to see how much net profit is generated compared to total sales, return of asset to see how effectively the company use its total assets, return on equity to see the company profitability for shareholder in proportion to its total equity, and debt to equity ratio to determine the degree of the company dependence on debt. This calculation will give you a more detailed understanding of the company financial condition so that we can make the right choice. With this calculation, we will get a more detailed understanding of the company financial condition so that we can make the right choice. First, let's calculate GPM. GPM is a measure of the company's efficiency in generating gross profit from each unit of sales. GPM describes the amount of gross profit earned by the company before operation costs and tax are deducted. Therefore, from GPM, we can also assess how well the company controls production assets. The gross profit margin formula is calculated by where we divide gross profit by sales, then multiply the result by 100%. In other words, GPM is equal to gross profit divided by sales multiplied by 100%. Okay, just excuse for 2021. Here the gross profit is 15,000 and also sales are 50,000 minus 15,000 divided by 50,000 multiplied by 100%. Okay, let's practice. Gross profit by sales and by 100%. Sales by 100%, and the result is 30%. Okay, continue to 2022. Here the gross profit is 14,500 divided by sales is 52,000 and also multiplied by 100%. Okay, let's practice. Gross profit by sales and by 100,000%. And the result is and the result is 28%. Okay, then in 2023, namely in gross profit there are 13,800 and also in sales 53,000 multiplied by 100%. Okay, let's practice. Gross profit by sales and by attachment is 100% and the result is 26%. Okay, GPM has company is getting less efficiency in generating gross profit from its sales. And GPM has decreased from 3% 2021 to 26% 2023, indication that the company is getting less efficient in generating gross profit from its sales. Okay, for the second one, we will calculate NPM. NPM shows the percentage of net profit earned by the company after deducting all expense, including interest expense and tax. This ratio is important because it shows how much profits can be obtained from each unit of sales after all costs are deducted. For the formula, name is net profit margin is the ratio of the company net profit income compared to total sales and then multiplied by 100%. Okay, net profit margin formula is net profit divided by sales and then multiplied by 100%. For example, for 2021 is 20,500 net profit by 50,000 sales. Okay, by 100% too. Okay, let's practice ya guys. Net profit by sales and by 100%. The result is 5%. Okay. The next is 2022 is 2,200 net profit divided by 52,000 sales and then multiplied by 100%. Let's see the result. Net profit by sales and divide by 100%, and the result is 4.23%. Okay, next to in 2023 is 1,800 net profit divided by sales of 53,000, then multiplied by 100%. Let's see the result. Net profit by sales and divide by 100%. The result is 3.40%. Okay, net profit margin from 2021 was 5% down to 3.40% in 2023, indicating that the amount of net profit earned by the company from each unit of sale decreased. Okay, the next is ROA. Is the ratio of net income to total asset, which is then multiplied by 100%. The formula is in 2021 net profit of 2,500 divided by total asset of 40,000, which is then multiplied by 100%. The result is, okay, let's write before. Net profit by total assets and divide by 100%, and result is 6.25%. Okay, next in 2022 net profit of 2,200 divided by total asset of 41,000. The result is, let's practice before. Net profit by total assets and divide by 100%, and 5.37%. Okay, next to 2023 net profit of the 1,800 divided by total asset of 42,000. Resulting is again net profit by total asset by 100%. Total there is 4.29%. Okay, the three decreasing ROA results show that the company is getting less efficient in generating profit from its asset. Okay, the next is return on equity, measure the net income against total equity and is also multiplied by 100%. ROA is net income divided by net income. In other words, in 2021, net income of 2,500 divided by equity of 25,000. Both equal 10%. Okay, let's practice before. Net profit by equity and divided by 100%. Okay, 10%. Okay, in 2022, net profit of 2,200 divided by equity of 24,000 will be will be 9%, and the 2023 will be 8%. Okay, the decline from 2021, which is 10% to 8% in 2023, RUE illustrates that the trend of the company is increasingly less active in generating profit from shareholder equity. Okay, next to debt to equity ratio is a ratio that calculates total debt compared to total equity. Describe funding structure that a company has. The formula is in 2021, the total debt is 15,000 and the equity is 25,000. So the ratio is, let's practice before, total debt by total equity, and so the ratio is 0.60. Okay, let's see the 2022 and 2023. Okay, total in 2022 is 0.71 and 2023 is 500. Okay, so the ratio is 0.87. The increase from 0.60 in 2021 to 0.87 in 2023 shows that the company is more in favor of debt. Okay, thank you, and I will return to moderator.
Okay, from the material present and the case study explained, we go directly to the summary. So, in short, from the description of financial ratio, there is something which becomes extremely clear for us about this manufacturing company, that over by the year it has been going under like a broken rolling stone. Beginning with the gross profit margin, we show a decrease from 30% in 2021 to 26 by FY 23. Bottom line, the fact that gross margin has decreased implies the company is getting more expensive to produce and sell its products within a deteriorating profit per unit scenario. Next, the net profit margin. Results show essentially a similar pattern decline from 5.0% in 2021 to an NPM of about 3-4% in both versions for MY23. The smaller decrease after all expenses include interest and taxes have been deduct from sales revenue, in the case less net income as profit remains. This fall raises question over the profitability and cost of the company as a whole in future years. Furthermore, the return on asset demonstrate a consistent reduction from 6.25% in 2021 to 4.29% in 2023. This trend indicates that the company is becoming less effective at utilizing its assets to generate profit, highlight potential inefficiencies in asset management that may need to be addressed. Additionally, the return on equity also showed a decrease, falling from 10% in 2021 to 8% in 2023. This trend suggests that the company is not generating sufficient returns for its shareholders, which could impact investor confidence and the company's ability to raise capital in future. Finally, the debt-equity ratio revealed an increase from 0.6 in 2021 to 0.87 in 2023. This rise indicates that the company is increasingly relying on debt financing, which could pose risk if not managed carefully, especially in light of declining profit margin. Overall, this financial indicator underscores the necessity for the company to reassess its financial strategy to enhance performance and stability its financial health. Okay, guys, that's all the explanation from us. Thank you for joining us in this analyzing of balance scorecard and its financial perspective. We hope this discussion has shed light on how crucial financial ratio can inform decision making with a company. Potong aja, ulang. Okay, guys, that's all the explanation from us. Thank you for joining us in this analysis of the balance scorecard and its financial perspective. We hope this discussion has shed light on how crucial financial ratio can inform decision making within a company. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your peers, and subscribe for more content on business performance management. Remember, understand the financial metric is key to making informed choice that drive success in any organization. See you in the next video.